It's the right time to do the right thing. And it's the next evolution of WWE.
In the world of professional wrestling, Vince McMahon is a name that evokes both admiration and controversy. As the chairman and CEO of WWE, McMahon has played a pivotal role in shaping the industry. However, behind the glitz and glamour lies a dark side that has tarnished his reputation. Not too long ago, he was the target of a rather disturbing allegation. From a new series of leaked texts, we get to see the kinds of things he put a certain employee through. Wrestling history and WWE's rise to prominence. For those who are not aware, this wouldn't be the first time McMahon has had sexual misconduct allegations piled up against him. Just recently, Vince McMahon has been flung yet another heap of sexual misconduct allegations, this time by former employee Janelle Grant. The lawsuit details a rather unsightly exploitation in which Janet was forced to do unspeakable things to sexually gratify McMahon and other employees. We'll go into all of this in a bit. But first, who is Vince McMahon and why is he such a big deal? Let's delve into some history. Vince McMahon's journey in the world of professional wrestling began in the 1970s when he joined his father's company, Capital Wrestling Corporation. McMahon started his career as a commentator, providing his unique voice and insights to the wrestling matches. However, he had bigger aspirations than just being behind the microphone. In 1982, McMahon made a bold move that would forever change the landscape of professional wrestling. He purchased the company from his father and set out to transform it into a global phenomenon. With his visionary mindset and relentless drive, McMahon rebranded the company as World Wrestling Federation, WWF, which later became World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE. Under McMahon's leadership, WWE became a dominant force in the industry. He introduced groundbreaking concepts and innovations that captivated audiences worldwide. One of his most significant contributions was the creation of WrestleMania, an annual event that showcased the best wrestling talent in the world. WrestleMania quickly became the Super Bowl of professional wrestling, attracting millions of viewers and generating massive revenue for the company. McMahon's ambition knew no bounds. He sought to expand WWE's reach and influence by acquiring competitors. In the 1990s, he acquired World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, effectively solidifying WWE's position as the leading wrestling promotion in the world. McMahon's strategic acquisitions allowed him to bring together the best talent from different promotions, creating unforgettable dream matches and storylines. Moreover, McMahon revolutionized the presentation of wrestling on television. He invested heavily in production values, introducing elaborate sets, pyrotechnics, and high-quality video packages. This elevated the viewing experience and contributed to WWE's mainstream success. Outside of wrestling, McMahon ventured into various ventures, including film production and professional football. Although not all of these ventures were as successful as WWE, McMahon's willingness to take risks and innovate has cemented his legacy as one of the most influential figures in the history of professional wrestling. McMahon's influence extended far beyond the wrestling ring as he delved into various sports promotions such as the World Bodybuilding Federation, WBF, and the XFL Football League. Though these ventures didn't attain the same level of success as WWE, they underscored McMahon's entrepreneurial spirit and willingness to embrace risk-taking. Throughout his illustrious career, McMahon's on-screen persona as Mr. McMahon left an indelible mark. This villainous authority figure became an iconic character in wrestling history, engaging in memorable feuds with some of the industry's biggest stars. One of the most notorious incidents involving McMahon's on-screen character was the Montreal Screwjob in 1997. In a highly controversial move during a match between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, McMahon orchestrated a plan to strip Hart of the WWE Championship, sparking outrage among fans and wrestlers and forever altering the landscape of professional wrestling. McMahon's character also played a pivotal role in the Attitude Era, a period known for its edginess and adult-oriented content. His feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin, the rebellious anti-hero who emerged as the face of the era, captivated audiences and propelled WWE to new heights of popularity. As the owner of WWE, McMahon wielded immense power in shaping the company's direction. He formed alliances, created factions, and orchestrated storylines that kept fans eagerly anticipating each episode. McMahon's knack for generating controversy and crafting compelling narratives made WWE must-see television. Furthermore, McMahon's impact on the wrestling industry extended to his behind-the-scenes role as a visionary leader. He revolutionized the way wrestling was produced and presented on television, investing heavily in production values and introducing elaborate sets, pyrotechnics, and high-quality video packages. Despite facing setbacks and challenges along the way, McMahon's unwavering determination and innovative spirit have solidified his legacy as one of the most influential figures in the history of professional wrestling. From his transformative contributions to WWE's success to his trailblazing ventures outside of wrestling, McMahon's imprint on the industry remains indelible. The Mr. McMahon character and feuds. In 1996, Vince McMahon unveiled a character that would irrevocably alter the landscape of professional wrestling, Mr. McMahon. This nefarious embodiment of authority, inspired by McMahon himself, injected a fresh surge of drama and conflict into WWE programming. The emergence of the Mr. McMahon character afforded McMahon the opportunity to partake in some of the most unforgettable feuds in wrestling annals. Among the most legendary rivalries featuring Mr. McMahon was his tumultuous clash with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin, the embodiment of rebellion and defiance, emerged as the quintessential adversary to McMahon's authoritarian persona.
Entrant number 2, Mr.
Their confrontations were visceral and deeply personal, with Austin incessantly challenging McMahon's supremacy and wreaking havoc on WWE's narrative fabric. The enmity between McMahon and Austin served as the cornerstone of the Attitude Era, ensnaring audiences and catapulting WWE to unprecedented pinnacles of acclaim. However, McMahon's penchant for feuds transcended his storied conflict with Austin. He found himself entangled in disputes with other luminaries of the wrestling world, each encounter imbuing WWE storylines with an additional layer of intrigue. McMahon harbored a bitter rivalry with Eric Bischoff, the erstwhile president of WCW. Their acrimony stemmed from the intense rivalry of the Monday Night Wars, a ratings skirmish between WWE's Monday Night Raw and WCW's Monday Nitro. McMahon and Bischoff exchanged verbal barbs and even engaged in physical altercations, stoking the fires of fervent competition between the two promotions. Through his multifaceted rivalries and narrative orchestrations, McMahon etched an indelible imprint on the fabric of professional wrestling. His portrayal of Mr. McMahon and his strategic engagements with wrestling icons imbued WWE programming with an unparalleled intensity, forever shaping the trajectory of the industry. Another noteworthy chapter in McMahon's illustrious career unfolded through his tumultuous feud with Shawn Michaels, widely regarded as one of the most talented and controversial wrestlers of his time. Michaels and McMahon shared a complex relationship, marred by power struggles and personal animosity. Their conflict reached its climax in a momentous showdown at WrestleMania 22, where Michaels emerged triumphant in a brutal street fight against McMahon. This pivotal match served as a testament to McMahon's unwavering dedication to immersive storytelling and entertainment, showcasing his willingness to put his body on the line to advance the narrative. McMahon's narrative involvement transcended individual feuds, extending to the epic ECW invasion storyline. This gripping saga witnessed wrestlers from rival promotions infiltrating WWE, with McMahon assuming the central role as the proprietor, embroiled in the battle for supremacy. The invasion storyline blurred the boundaries between fiction and reality, captivating audiences with its unpredictable twists and turns, fostering an intense sense of anticipation among fans. Throughout his illustrious career, McMahon adroitly leveraged his influence to forge various factions and alliances, all in service of his singular agenda. One of the most notable factions was the Corporation, a formidable collective of wrestlers and authority figures united under McMahon's banner. Tasked with safeguarding McMahon's dominance and quelling dissent, the Corporation engaged in gripping battles against defiant adversaries such as The Rock and Mankind, crafting intricate storylines that enthralled audiences and left them clamoring for more. McMahon's indelible imprint on professional wrestling extends far beyond the confines of the squared circle. His visionary leadership, coupled with his unparalleled storytelling prowess, has propelled WWE to unprecedented heights of success, cementing his status as one of the most influential figures in the history of the industry. From his pioneering ventures in sports entertainment to his captivating on-screen persona as Mr. McMahon, his enduring legacy continues to shape the landscape of professional wrestling for generations to come. McMahon's character assumed a pivotal role in the inception of the corporate ministry, an unholy amalgamation merging the corporation with the Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness. This nefarious alliance, known as the Corporate Ministry, unleashed chaos upon WWE, targeting adversaries and asserting their unbridled dominance. McMahon's integral involvement in this storyline epitomized his unparalleled knack for crafting gripping narratives that blurred the demarcation between righteousness and malevolence. In a dramatic twist in 2007, McMahon's character met a fate that sent shockwaves reverberating throughout the WWE universe. In a storyline rife with intrigue, his character was presumed dead following a harrowing limousine explosion. This sensational incident left fans reeling in disbelief and sparked rampant speculation regarding McMahon's future within WWE. Although the storyline ultimately unveiled itself as a work of fiction, it underscored McMahon's audacious penchant for pushing the boundaries of storytelling and engineering indelible moments that linger in the collective consciousness of wrestling aficionados. The UCW-ECW Invasion and Feuds. Vince McMahon's pivotal involvement in the UCW-ECW invasion storyline marked a transformative juncture in the annals of professional wrestling. Unfolding in the tumultuous year of 2001, this narrative arc bore witness to an unprecedented convergence of wrestling titans, as competitors from rival promotions WCW and ECW descended upon WWE, plunging the landscape into a maelstrom of chaos and uncertainty. Stepping into the role of WWE's owner, McMahon emerged as the linchpin in the struggle for supremacy. Cast as the unyielding guardian of WWE's sovereignty, he assumed the mantle of defiant leadership, steadfastly resolved to repel the encroaching forces seeking to undermine his dominion. McMahon's character was propelled by an unquenchable thirst for control and an unwavering commitment to assert his dominance over the wrestling domain. The invasion storyline orchestrated a collision of titanic proportions, pitting industry icons against one another in epic confrontations that reverberated throughout the wrestling world. McMahon found himself ensnared in bitter conflicts with luminaries such as Diamond Dallas Page, Booker T, and Rob Van Dam, emblematic figures representing the invading factions. The ensuing feuds served as a testament to McMahon's consummate skill in crafting compelling narratives that captivated audiences and held them in thrall. Amidst the turmoil, one rivalry stood out as particularly memorable: the showdown between McMahon and Booker T. The latter, a former WCW World Heavyweight Champion, brought to WWE a unique blend of charisma and in-ring prowess, posing a formidable challenge to McMahon's hegemony. Driven by an unyielding determination to affirm his supremacy, McMahon set his sights squarely on Booker T, igniting a series of fiercely contested battles that gripped the collective imagination of wrestling enthusiasts. Their visceral encounters not only showcased the clash of two wrestling titans, but also served as a poignant reflection of the seismic upheaval reshaping the landscape of professional wrestling during this tumultuous era. McMahon's penchant for engaging in captivating feuds transcended the confines of the invasion storyline. He found himself embroiled in a fierce rivalry with wrestling luminary Shawn Michaels, reigniting their long-standing animosity. The conflict between McMahon and Michaels was deeply personal, with McMahon steadfast in his quest to assert authority over the rebellious Michaels. Their encounters brimmed with intensity and emotional gravitas, leaving an indelible mark on the legacies of both men. Another noteworthy chapter in McMahon's storied career unfolded through his feud with Donald Trump, the billionaire mogul who dabbled in the realm of professional wrestling. McMahon and Trump clashed in a highly publicized Battle of the Billionaires match at WrestleMania 23. The stakes were sky high, with McMahon's chosen representative, Umaga, squaring off against Trump's champion, Bobby Lashley. The loser of the match faced the ignominy of having their head shaved bald. McMahon's rivalry with Trump underscored his adeptness at leveraging real-world personalities and events to generate buzz and excitement within the wrestling sphere. Across the arc of his career, McMahon's character underwent a metamorphosis, adapting to the evolving landscape of professional wrestling. He continued to immerse himself in feuds and storylines that pushed the boundaries of entertainment, captivating audiences with his willingness to put himself in the line of physical altercations and embrace risk for the sake of storytelling. This endeared him to legions of fans and cemented his status as a larger-than-life figure within the industry. Despite the controversies and criticisms that have shrouded McMahon, his profound impact on the wrestling landscape remains undeniable. His creative vision and astute business acumen have indelibly shaped the way audiences consume sports entertainment. McMahon's unparalleled ability to craft compelling narratives and engage in memorable feuds has left an indelible imprint on the fabric of the industry. As discussions delve into the unsettling allegations of misconduct surrounding McMahon, it is imperative to acknowledge the nuanced complexity of his career. While his contributions to professional wrestling are indisputable, the shadow of these allegations looms darkly over his legacy. Allegations of sexual misconduct. Beneath the glitzy facade of Vince McMahon's wrestling empire lies a troubling shadow of allegations surrounding sexual misconduct and harassment. McMahon has faced accusations from multiple women, including former WWE employees and wrestlers, tarnishing his legacy and prompting serious scrutiny of his character. One such accuser is Rita Chatterton, a former WWE employee who, in 2022, filed a lawsuit against McMahon alleging sexual assault during a business meeting. While the lawsuit was settled out of court, the allegations lingered, leaving a permanent stain on McMahon's reputation. Another significant case involved Ashley Massaro, a former WWE wrestler who tragically passed away in 2019. In 2016, Massaro joined a lawsuit against WWE, claiming she was sexually assaulted during a company-sponsored trip to the Middle East in 2006. The lawsuit also highlighted WWE's alleged failure to adequately protect female performers from harassment and assault. Despite being dismissed due to statute limitations, the case shed light on pervasive issues within the wrestling industry. These are just two examples of the allegations against McMahon McMahon, with many others remaining undisclosed due to settlements and confidentiality agreements. The sheer volume of accusations raises serious concerns about the workplace culture within WWE and McMahon's potential role in perpetuating a toxic environment. The 2024 scandal. This time around, Vince McMahon found himself in yet another legal quagmire. Former employee Janelle Grant has come forward accusing the business mogul of forcing her to carry out explicit acts for the sexual satisfaction of other employees and even himself. In essence, he's been accused of not only sexual misconduct, but also trafficking allegations, which he has vehemently denied. According to the explicit and disturbing filing in federal court, Janelle Grant's relationship with Vince McMahon began in March 2019. At that time, Grant was an unemployed woman grieving the loss of her family. Little did she know that her encounter with McMahon would lead her down a path of unimaginable horror. The lawsuit alleges that from the very beginning, McMahon's behavior towards Grant was filled with cringeworthy sexual innuendos. What started as a seemingly innocent meeting soon turned into a nightmare, as McMahon made it clear that explicit sexual acts were a condition of her employment. The court documents are filled with shocking accounts of McMahon's vile behavior and violence towards Grant. It is important to note that these allegations are not the first of their kind against McMahon. Before we dive into the details, let's take a moment to understand the context. In 2022, McMahon was pushed out as WWE president and CEO amid sexual abuse and harassment allegations. However, he made a comeback with a newly installed board and unveiled a strategic review process, which eventually led to the merger of WWE and UFC, forming TKO Group Holdings. TKO Group Holdings is controlled by Endeavor, with Ari Emanuel as CEO and Mark Shapiro as the president. Grant's lawsuit claims that McMahon's behavior quickly escalated from overtly sexual to vicious and ugly. She alleges that McMahon subjected her to aggressive physical encounters, using degrading language like bitch repeatedly. The lawsuit also mentions instances where Grant was forced into group sex situations and the use of sex toys, resulting in physical injuries. The allegations go even further, with Grant claiming that some encounters involved crossing state lines, which supports the sex trafficking claim. It is truly horrifying to think that such acts could have taken place within the confines of a company as well known as WWE. Grant's lawsuit also implicates John Laurinaitis, the former WWE head of talent relations and general manager, in acts of sexual assault. Laurinaitis left WWE last year under a cloud of accusations, and now finds himself named in this disturbing lawsuit alongside McMahon. As we continue to uncover the shocking details of this lawsuit, it becomes clear that Grant's experience with McMahon and WWE was nothing short of a nightmare. The lawsuit alleges that McMahon's actions were not only sexually abusive, but also psychologically damaging, leaving Grant traumatized and scarred. It is important to remember that these are allegations, and McMahon and WWE have vehemently denied them. However, the detailed accounts provided by Grant in her lawsuit paint a disturbing picture of a toxic and abusive environment within the company. However, the sexual misconduct allegations against McMahon have cast a dark shadow over this merger. The lawsuit filed by Janelle Grant not only implicates McMahon, but also holds WWE accountable for negligence. This raises questions about the company's culture and the responsibility of its leadership. It is worth noting that the statement released by TKO Group Holdings did not mention whether McMahon will retain his role at the company. This leaves uncertainty about his future within the organization. The wrestling industry has long been plagued by allegations of misconduct, and this lawsuit adds fuel to the fire. It raises important questions about the treatment of employees within the industry and the responsibility of those in positions of power. The implications of this lawsuit go beyond McMahon and WWE. The entire wrestling industry is now under scrutiny as it grapples with the need for change and accountability. The silence from Endeavor, the parent company of TKO Group Holdings, is reminiscent of past instances where powerful figures in the entertainment industry have remained silent in the face of serious allegations. It is crucial for the industry to address these allegations head-on and take concrete steps towards creating a safe and respectful environment for all its employees. The silence surrounding the allegations against McMahon and the lack of response from Endeavor raise concerns about the commitment to change within the industry. The wrestling industry has a dedicated fan base that deserves transparency and accountability. The success of WWE and other wrestling promotions relies heavily on the support of these fans. It is essential for the industry to acknowledge the seriousness of the allegations and take decisive action to ensure a safe and inclusive environment for everyone involved. As the legal battle unfolds, the future of McMahon and WWE hangs in the balance. The outcome of this lawsuit could have far-reaching consequences for the wrestling industry as a whole. It is a critical moment that calls for reflection, reform, and a commitment to creating a culture that prioritizes the well-being and safety of its employees. The lawsuit filed by Janelle Grant contains numerous disturbing accounts of McMahon's alleged abusive behavior. However, one particular particular incident stands out as a horrifying example of the overall tone and tenor of Grant's filing. According to the lawsuit, during an encounter, McMahon allegedly directed Grant to lay down on her back in a supplicating position. What followed was an act so repulsive and degrading that it is difficult to comprehend. McMahon defecated on Grant's head, leaving her in a state of utter humiliation and degradation. McMahon then left to shower off, but shockingly, he instructed Grant to remain in place, with excrement in her hair, and to continue performing for his friend. Despite Grant's requests for protection, none was offered. McMahon and his friend actively continued with the sexual encounter, directing Grant's performance for around an hour and a half while she was left covered in feces. It is truly horrifying to think that such a revolting act could have taken place, and even more disturbing that it is alleged to have occurred within the confines of a powerful and well-known company like WWE. Grant's lawsuit paints a picture of a deeply toxic and abusive environment where employees are subjected to unimaginable acts of violence and degradation. The lawsuit also highlights the sharing of naked images of Grant with other senior WWE staffers, forcing her into group sex situations and subjecting her to aggressive physical encounters. The impact of Grant's filing cannot be overstated. It sheds light on the dark underbelly of the wrestling industry and raises important questions about the treatment of employees, the responsibility of those in power, and the need for systemic change. Grant's experience with McMahon and WWE ultimately led to her departure from the company in 2022 after signing a non-disclosure agreement, NDA. The lawsuit alleges that the NDA was an attempt to sweep the matter under the rug and that McMahon was to pay Grant $3 million under the agreement. However, Grant claims to have only received $1 million, and she believes that any WWE investigation into the matter was a mere sham. Grant's courage in coming forward and seeking justice is commendable. Her lawsuit seeks unspecified damages and a declaratory judgment that the NDA is void and unenforceable, allowing her claims against McMahon and WWE to proceed. As the federal investigation into the allegations against McMahon continues, the full truth may come to light. It is crucial to remember that these allegations are serious and have had a profound impact on the lives of those involved. Wrestling community and fans around the world are left grappling with the disturbing reality that their beloved industry is not immune to the dark side of power and fame. While McMahon's wrestling empire has brought entertainment to millions, these allegations cast a dark shadow over his legacy. The spotlight on his alleged misconduct underscores broader conversations about accountability and the treatment of women in male-dominated industries. As these allegations continue to reverberate, they prompt reflection on the responsibility of leaders like McMahon to foster safe and respectful workplaces, free from harassment and abuse. McMahon's resignation and ongoing federal investigation. In a seismic turn of events in 2024, Vince McMahon, amidst shocking allegations of sexual misconduct, made a monumental decision. He resigned from his roles as CEO and chairman of WWE, relinquishing control of the company he had meticulously crafted into a global powerhouse. McMahon's sudden departure sent shockwaves reverberating throughout the wrestling industry, leaving fans and employees grappling with uncertainty regarding WWE's future trajectory. McMahon's resignation unfolded against the backdrop of an ongoing federal investigation into allegations of sexual assault and harassment. The investigation aims to unearth the truth behind these troubling claims and ensure accountability for those found responsible. However, the full breadth of the investigation's scope and its eventual findings remain shrouded in uncertainty, as federal inquiries typically demand time for thorough completion. The allegations against McMahon have cast a profound shadow over his legacy and the broader wrestling community, triggering a much-needed conversation about workplace conduct and the imperative for heightened accountability and transparency. This sobering reckoning compels wrestling enthusiasts worldwide to confront the uncomfortable reality that their cherished industry is not immune to the darker undercurrents of power and celebrity. For McMahon, the decision to step down signifies a profound pivot in his illustrious career. After decades of shaping the wrestling landscape, he chose to withdraw from the company he had painstakingly nurtured. McMahon's resignation elicited a spectrum of reactions, with some commending him for assuming responsibility, while others raised questions about the timing and sincerity of his departure. As the wrestling world grapples with this seismic shift, it stands at a critical juncture, poised to navigate the complex aftermath of McMahon's exit and chart a course forward infused with integrity and accountability. The legacy of McMahon's tenure, fraught with both triumphs and controversies, underscores the indelible imprint he has left on the wrestling industry, even as the future of WWE hangs in the balance amidst this period of profound upheaval. However, McMahon's retirement was short-lived. In 2023, he made a surprising return to WWE as executive chairman following a merger between WWE and Endeavor Group Holdings. McMahon's comeback comeback raised significant questions about the company's future trajectory and the ongoing federal investigation, injecting uncertainty into the wrestling industry's landscape. The lingering specter of the federal investigation into allegations against McMahon continues to cast a long shadow over both his career and the broader wrestling community. This investigation, aimed at uncovering the truth and determining appropriate actions, carries the potential for profound ramifications for McMahon and the industry as a whole, underscoring the gravity of the situation. It's crucial to emphasize that at this stage, the allegations against McMahon remain unproven allegations. The ongoing investigation will be instrumental in discerning the veracity of these claims and delineating any necessary legal actions. Therefore, it's imperative to approach the situation with cautious restraint and afford due respect to all involved parties, ensuring fairness and integrity throughout the process. The allegations of sexual misconduct have catalyzed a vital conversation about the treatment of women in the wrestling industry and the urgent need for systemic reforms. Wrestlers, industry insiders, and fans alike have united in advocating for heightened accountability, transparency, and the establishment of a safer working environment for all performers. This collective outcry underscores the industry's critical juncture, balancing the imperative for change with a recognition of McMahon's substantial contributions to wrestling. As the federal investigation unfolds, the wrestling community eagerly awaits clarity and closure. The revelations surrounding allegations of sexual misconduct and harassment will undoubtedly leave an indelible mark on McMahon's legacy and the broader wrestling landscape, prompting introspection and calls for reform. It serves as a poignant reminder that no individual is immune to scrutiny, and the pursuit of justice remains paramount for upholding the integrity and credibility of the industry. The allegations of sexual misconduct surrounding Vince McMahon have cast a profound shadow over both his enduring legacy and the broader wrestling industry. From his formative years and ascension to eminence within WWE to his pivotal roles in shaping various storylines and engaging in high-profile feuds, McMahon's indelible imprint on professional wrestling is undeniable. Yet, the distressing allegations of sexual assault and harassment have undeniably tarnished his once stellar reputation, prompting significant questions about his character and conduct. The ongoing federal investigation endeavors to unearth the truth behind these troubling allegations and ensure accountability for those implicated. As the wrestling community grapples with the gravity of these accusations, it remains paramount to underscore the imperative of fostering a safe and respectful working environment for all performers. This collective reckoning underscores the industry's responsibility to prioritize the well-being and dignity of its members, reaffirming the principles of integrity and accountability as foundational pillars of its ethos. If you enjoyed watching this video, be sure to check our other similar and amazing videos on the screen. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.